Humble greetings, dear one. So today it's an introduction on who Praveshni Harkhu is. The life path that I have been able to identify with is the true essence of who I am, the psychic that you require in terms of elevating your life and justifying your connection to your psychic world. So fortunately for me, my challenges had allowed me to endure the positive outcome of becoming a psychic for a duration of 3 decades. Now fortunately, this journey has been one on a rapid growth, like rapid fire actually. The journey itself started where I as an individual was introduced to a pack of tarot cards, an Egyptian pack actually, and within the Egyptian tarot pack it had an influence of astrological numerology and Egyptian hieroglyphics, and the pack itself was actually connecting me to how the Egyptian hieroglyphics have an influence in our life path from ancient wisdom. My curiosity led me to basically influence my energy in the modern world in terms of how a psychic should be practicing life's path. The journey itself had taken me from basically palm reading. Funny enough, I also experienced a journey where I visited a palm reader in a caravan, a typical gypsy energy. And the one thing that she stood out and said to me, you are married to a demon, and once you are able to let go of that chapter of your life, you will be able to marry yourself into the new cosmic of your conscious shift. I believed in that, and I made rational decisions as an individual. Now, take note that my journey started as a 14-year-old child without education and without a foundation relevant to educational influence. For me, it worked out well because my true essence is about self-learning, self-development, and self-progression. This is an energy that I amplify to those that I meet very welcomingly so. So basically, my life path itself was all about the belief system. From a 14-year-old child, I have become quite involved in the world of how humanity works. The influence from just one tarot pack went to palm reading, tea reading, and then I noticed myself basically giving off the influence of being psychically attuned to my life, to people's life, to the people that are involved in my life, and I decided, yay, this is the moment I actually need to influence myself, the people around me, and those that wish to become part of this journey of the psychic world. And in my experiences through this journey, I found myself basically wanting to attune my energies to the knowledge on how alternative medicine works. I practiced Reiki to a point where I had the master degree and the teaching course degree. The development in Reiki had taught me the energy field on how we exist. From that, my curiosity led me to kinesiology, and I strongly believe that we are broken down into different aspects of a full development from within outer. So basically, kinesiology was about being able to knowledge myself on a larger spectrum of the human body, from the neurolymphatics, the neurovascular, and the meridian system. Just like acupressure points or acupuncture points, reflexology, we are able to actually tap into the energy field of the human body and understand these neurological energies, the neurolymphatic, the neurovascular, and the meridian system. By actually tuning yourself to this focus, I actually realized, my word, I'm able to actually guide people away from the phobia, the belief system, negatively actually, the negative that have been suppressed within them. I was able to divert the energies into the positive, giving them the influence that I needed in terms of going forward. So basically what I'm trying to explain is that in life path itself, when we become compassionate about what we do in life, we register with this essence of growth. So for me as an individual, I developed from a simple individual who was able to pick up many modalities in life and utilize them to the best benefit in terms of not for me as an individual. My gratification in abundance just came through because I was compassionate enough to share my wisdom, strength, and hope to those around me. I still do this practice in a most fundamental way in my life path. This includes a great influence around my life, my personal life, and that of my professional life. And the standard of my experiences have taken me internationally. Fortunately, with the modern evolution in digital communication, it has made it extremely easy for my international guests to enjoy the very same influence that I have to offer. And COVID has just come in and given us the awakening to take our life path from our inner space to the outer world. And how fortunate are we as individuals to be able to register this way. No matter where we are in the world, we can still be connected. And this level of frequency, vortex, vibration, energy has always been in the universe, and this existence has taken us to another level altogether in expanding our level of communication. I wish to elaborate exactly the influence in life path and how it will impact an individual's reading. Why should you basically associate your life path with the psychic? So in life, you have a choice, right? And your choice itself is entirely left up to you as an individual. When you feel stuck in life, you basically attune yourself to what works, what resonates for you at best. And a lot of people are actually become open to the psychic world. Do you know why? Because that is the birthright. We are, as souls, we have a regression, a past life experience, a past energy experience before birth. We call that energy tapping into the spirit of the soul. Now, the spirit energy, the soul energy, and the physical energy are all combined together, giving you the righteousness to be born onto this earth. You taken that choice of birth to be psychic. Yes, in our rigid structural belief system, we have the influence divert our intentions in life, and we become quite lost by attachment. A psychic will allow you to acknowledge the true essence of who you are and how you can utilize your vibration for the higher good of self-growth. It just takes you back to true identity of being born in the attunement of your own awareness. The different modalities that I love using, and I emphasize on that just based on the fact that it allows the client to register exactly the interpretation required. So for instance, I use the pack which is called Past Life Regression Information, and it allows the client to basically acknowledge past life allows you a karmic life experience in life path. This card itself registers with the energy. Well, that is actually spirits talking and dancing. So the first card that I actually wish to show is Ride the Wave. And it's so important, you know, how do you register the simple affirmation, ride the wave, in past life regression? So basically, a lot of people are registered with the energy of water. We are born within the womb of vibration, and water has an impact to the human body, 75% of water capacity. That vibration itself, we are born from lifetime after lifetime with the force of water within. And water actually involves all energy of emotion. So we beings register life path from emotion. And when we register our life path experiences with emotion, we are then able to basically connect disconnect the comfort and the discomfort of life path imbalance. So basically that is past life regression. Coming back to the energies of zodiacal influence, planetary influence, we all born with a date of birth, right? And astrologically it has an impact. And this is how man has created the knowledge in terms of how astrology works in our life. But for a psychic influence, we take it a step further. We allow ourselves to basically register with the astrological influence in life. So the date of birth of your being is a true essence of what you chose as an individual to bring into this world, your identity. So your birthright is obviously involved around these energies. The house that you sit in, the day that you were born, and the planetary influence that comes with you. So basically, just an example, the energy Mercury, the Mercury planetary influence involves all energy of communication. So what you actually look at is all the astrological influence, all the planetary influence, and the impact it has in one individual's life path. The knowledge is vast in terms of astrology, but when we look at it in terms of acknowledgement, the day of birth, the day that you were born, the day that you connected as a psychic being on earth, this vibration takes on with you an influence throughout your life's chapter, from the day you were born to the day you decide that you have fulfilled your journey on earth. So how do you actually have an impact of astrology in your life path from within the womb to the outer womb? We have the goddess full moon energy, and this energy itself is an influence of the sun power and the moon power vibration. When mother and father created the essence of your true being, you will find that this vortex energy allowed you to become attuned to the relationship that you wish to have. So you chose your mother and you chose your father, not they chose you. You decided as a soul to enter the womb and to become. So fortunately, with registering the parental influence in your life, you have a lot to learn around that. And a psychic can actually give you full influence in the impact that your life had to endure by the choice you made to be born in a specific surrounding of family influence. And the spectrum of family influence is a vast aspect that one should actually understand, right? We are individuals that we need to basically understand the in-depth of our being, our life experience, so that we can register the large spectrum of being, right? Okay, so parental influence, and then that creates the family that you've come from. There's a universal frequency attached to that, and it becomes a karmic pattern based on the structural belief system of where you come from. So these cards I use as a frequency influence in life. We have law of attraction, we have universal attraction, and we have planetary and chakra energy influence in one's life path. And these cards are actually quite fascinating in terms of the continuity of how this universal energy actually works in our life. And fortunately, if we are able to register with the frequency, we are able to acknowledge how we, as a frequency, as a vibration, as a vortex, how we become magnetic with our intention. You know, sometimes the attachment of our relationships have a negative impact in terms of our individual growth. But as a psychic, you'll be able to attune yourself in how you should reflect on observation over and above what you're experiencing. Then we remember mother, father, family, and the large spectrum. So you're the baby, you grow into different stages, and you become involved in understanding you on earth and your relationship on earth and the vortex energy around earth. We have trees, we have plants, we have energy of Mother Earth, we have the ocean, we have the essence of day and night, the influence of sun and water, and fire, earth, what else? Air, we breathe. You know, the first energy we need to register with is how our breath influence actually has an impact in our life. So that these are actually large spectrums a psychic can attune into and basically explain the influence of these emotional attachments relevant to earth energy. And the one most fascinating energy itself, besides plants and trees and nature spirits, basically you need to understand animal energy as well. Animal instinct is a fascinating energy in terms of how you look at it. Like for instance, the butterfly is an energy of transformation. When an energy of a butterfly appears in your space, the totem of this influence has an impact in terms of the transformation you're about to adjourn with. So these are accurate information flow which can be utilized. These are all modalities that you bring in to expand an explanation on this larger spectrum of being, right? And so when we've actually adjusted our relationship with the universal energy on earth and the capacity of its influence, we then become attuned to our body. Our body is ever changing, right? From a baby to a teenager, to a young adult, into aging. So we regenerate and we degenerate. And this itself is what a psychic talks about, the body and the impact it has. So I normally use a pack like this. It's actually called Understanding Thy Body. And the guidance that is actually given onto the client is based on what impact actually what emotions one experience, what mentality one experience, what physical experiences one goes through. This has an impact on a vortex flow in terms of the body of the human being. You have a back problem. Why? Because you've burdened yourself or suppressed an energy relevant to life experiences. So this pack is used intuitively to bring out a certain coordination in terms of where the client is stuck. When you are able to register with the universal energy and the evolution of existence, your field becomes magnetic. Magnetic in the sense that you're bringing in energy of expansion. So when we actually look at that, we have different sphere of being, right? We have the aura, we have the chakra, we have the magnetic field in terms of attraction, intention, vibration, and all of that. When you actually educate an individual to take back the true essence that is actually empowering one's mentality, empowering one's emotion to overcome where they are stuck. And if they are stuck, then you help them with these modalities to go forward. Or if they are elevating, you elevate them further to actually register in terms of their wisdom, compassion, and enlightenment in the different sphere of life. So I also use the something called zodiac influence within the capacity of the angels and archangels and fairies and so on. It's not about fantasy, it's about creating an imaginative sphere of where, you know, when we humans are quite fascinating, hey? When we register, our eyes speak. You know, when you look at a plate of food, your eyes already ate it, which means your eyes are the observation in terms of what you register, and then your taste buds, right? So basically what I'm saying is what you see is what you focus on. And so when you actually start building a grid relationship of life, a grid means that if you have a candle burning, your focus becomes that candle and the light around it, and you can emphasize the larger spectrum of what that light has to do for you. Now likewise, when it comes to the angelic energies and the influence around, they actually do originate from the astrological influence in life, and I love to elaborate on that from one spectrum to the other in terms of my consultations. So coming back to what a client requires in terms of becoming or building their relationship with a psychic. So coming back to the influence of all these modalities together, what can you gain as an individual? You have the choice to basically utilize your psychic ability as an individual to enhance your life path. And should you need a guidance, you approach the appropriate with your intention, depending on your integrity, your honesty, and your loyalty on your journey. You are able to magnetically attract the appropriate. The appropriate being those guides. They say when a child is ready to learn, the teacher will appear, right? And that spectrum of learnability itself is it totally depends on what type of influence you want in your life path. For example, if you want to become a crystal healer, you learn what crystal influence has in your life path, and you actually expand the spectrum of knowledge about crystals, right? And even like if you want to know about tarot cards, you learn the energies connected, what resonates with you most about tarot cards. So we're teaching you to become psychic, as well as guiding you individually. You know, let's take for example an interpretation. Funny enough, I picked up apprenticeship. So I, as a psychic who free willingly help people, I also want you to become the entrepreneur of your life based on your internship or your apprenticeship as a psychic. You are obviously born to have that gift. Take that transformation and become that gift. So my life experiences itself is not only about having a consultation with a client and giving them the benefit of being having a consultation, a psychic consultation. It's about elevating them to basically become attuned to their psychic awakening as well. And once you actually expand on that, that relationship between you and your psychic persons will obviously take you from one sphere to the other. And this is so fascinating because there are so many modalities out there that you can attune to, register with, and expand to. Now, in conclusion, Praveshni Harkhu definitely will be able to expand on how you can become a psychic, how you can consult a psychic and become attuned to your true life's essential self. Now, the benefit in terms of this, I am at a retiring point in my life path, and I wish to share all knowledge as best as I can to all people that have come in contact with me. And this video is a lot to do with regards to taking it internationally and giving each soul the ability to acknowledge that they have in them the true essence of living, the true essence of knowing, the true essence of elevation. And we are very fortunate. Right now, we must bless the man that made digital communication a large spectrum of how it is. And in conclusion, I would like to say, if you ever wish to have a communication with Praveshni Harkhu, you're welcome to register through the forum and become attuned to more talks on how psychic work works. Thank you. We're not yet over. Remember, a psychic always works in a mysterious way. So, as much as I've said in conclusion, I am not gone. I'm still here to inspire your spirit, no matter what. The one thing that you need to register with is that this is how life works now, and that is sensory perception, right? Be able to become attuned to your pineal gland and let that vortex energy become the awakening of your kundalini, so that your spectrum of being registers with the right psychic. You know, there's skeptical energy within each individual, but when you are in the truesomeness of thyself, everything will register in accordance to your growth as an individual. Now, with that mystical energy of conclusion, I bring onto you the happiness of the larger spectrum of me, from my space to your space. Together we shall grow. And thank you again in the spectrum of light and love.